welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. We're looking at week 9, I think, out of the law of acquisition. This is such a specialized school, okay? It's been a privilege to train it on Noble Goldman, okay? This platform is amazing. We've had all of these familiar faces coming through. Some haven't come from all the way through, so I just want to explain, as I usually do, that this is the third part, the third section of the Quantum Living with 4-Body Wellness School. Okay, so make no mistake, it concerns me a little because those that are here that have actually gone through the initiation process to come into being diamond active, wow, the law of acquisition is so relevant. When you've come in through this measure, okay, you're into like week 9 of it or whatever, but we've actually been, we haven't fully activated. We've been talking about it. We've been imparting the diamond, but the soul sovereign connection, ignition, spark hasn't been imparted. So I want you to know, do not go away from this with the mental construct, the mental body saying, I know what this is, okay? Because when you come into your soul sovereign connection and understand your board of directors fully and their operation within you, then you have got an amazing time ahead. But you do anyway, okay? Because we're all creators. So this is going to bring you through to like 100% on what you've been doing, absolutely, because of understanding the law of acquisition, okay? And who it is that you're working with internally as we're making this shift and this leap. Morning, Dr. Mike. So let's talk about that. So there's a difference in the relationship. That's what I'm trying to say. So the relationally, when I have my board of directors activated, ignited within my system, I have my divine feminine, my divine masculine, my divine inner child infused, ignited, okay, in me, all right? And so they're not just a figment of my imagination. I've actually met them. And when I've met them, I know, because I know who it is that they are, okay? And I'm coming into greater understanding of this as I explore each part of myself, because they are myself. Isn't that right? They are yourself, okay? You have your own divine feminine. She was everything that I was reaching for all my life, to find the goddess within me. And I didn't even know I was looking for her in me. She was in me, you know? I was looking for this amazing woman, this amazing female goddess, and she was actually in me. So when I actually met her, it was like, wow, okay? I'd been looking for her out in the world in one sense. Well, I had been. It was like I was really impressed by certain women that were very strong, able to achieve, ran businesses, had homes, you know, highly successful. I always appreciated and admired that, okay? But it wasn't until I met my divine inner feminine that I go, oh my God, you've been in me. That's who I've been seeking. That's who I've been reaching for, okay? This mighty womb of creation, this one who can bring through these vibrational worlds that I'm just thinking and dreaming about, but she brings through into this 100% world, cause and effect, with all of the goodies, the meeting places, the genius, okay, of those 100% creations. She was inside me all of the time. Can you see the difference between knowing and hearing? Okay, there's a big difference between just hearing something that you've got to still sort it, and knowing, because I've actually met her. Okay, I've met her. And many people, you will feel her, and when you've met her, you will go, oh my God, I know because I know because I know. Okay, and you have this faith in her. You have this, what is it? Faith in the unseen. Oh, okay, interesting. So all of these things start to come together. Quantum law just makes complete sense. As I project onto my quantum field, I know that I'm going to have it come back to me in return. Why? Because I've met my inner goddess. I've met my divine feminine. And she's the orchestrator, the strategy comes into my life on anything that I'm actually thinking about, wanting, desiring. Isn't that amazing? So she's just one of the triune being. So there's three parts to you. One, okay, that brings through this immense strategy. And I've said this over and over, that she pushed me out of the way one day because I was worrying in my little pointy me back to front. And she basically pushes me out of the way and goes, excuse me, that I get 100% return on everything that I put out. So she gets 100% on what she puts out. So I had to sit back, and from that time on was like total respect. Okay, what I thought was important to me is just not so important now. I had to realize that every thought, every feeling, every piece of divine intuition, every business concept, every clear excuse me, piece of knowledge that's come through to me has come from my divine feminine. Isn't that cool? So all of these quantum principles that I share and teach have come from my greater me. Okay, so one with me, yes, but not just through my little pointy me by any means. That's why we acknowledge the soul sovereignty within ourselves to guide, to instruct, to bring true reason. And I tell you what, it is never the same as what my little pointy me thinks about any situation whatsoever. Okay? And this is why today is about guidance. Okay? Because the guidance that, excuse me, has been taught in the spiritual community is not guidance. Okay? Or it is an external type of guidance. Okay? The guidance that we're coming into is your 3-in-1, your triune being from your higher self. And that will always look different. Okay, it'll always be different. It will always get to the truth of the matter by turning it inside out and upside down to bring pure wisdom through. Okay, so every time I get my quantum principle, which is what I've been teaching you, it is not expected. It's sort of like, really, I wouldn't have thought that at all, you know. I was looking for a little bit of sympathy from my board of directors. And it doesn't come because sympathy is not a true position, is it? You know, and so what we do is we actually seek help. We seek assistance in our guidance. Okay? But your board of directors here is not here to assist you. Did you think that? Yes, you did. Don't tell me you didn't. So we start using our board of directors now that we've introduced the triune being. We've been talking about this for many weeks now. Okay. And so the mental body within you goes, oh, I'll just start talking to my board of directors. I'll tell them what I want. Okay. Doesn't quite work like that. All right. Don't tell them what you want. You are drawing in alignment from them creation itself. Okay. So I want to just bring this back to mind. You are drawing it through you and projecting it into your future, what it is that you have been seeking, so that you then become it with your board of directors. Can you see the difference? Before, I was actually here, back to front and upside down to myself going, please God, please universe. Okay, and then I'd get all my cards out. I've got packets of cards here, from fairy cards to angel cards to cards. Okay, and I go, what am I meant to be doing next? I'm not getting it. I'm going to another reader. People go to psychics, and it's like, what, can you please read me? Okay, when am I going to meet some handsome man that knows my patterns, my woundings, and my this and that? And okay, I trust me, it's not going to happen. And then again and again and again, we walk out disappointed from that old form of guidance. And this is what's happening right now, is that we are becoming very, very, very disappointed in this form of guidance. Why? Because it no longer works. It no longer works for you. It cannot. Even the numbers. Hold on, I better get a drink in me. Sorry. Even the numbers. I love numbers, okay? I can jump on a freeway and I'll have my board of directors, everyone just playing the game with me, not that game. And I'll be just bringing in words, like full sentences, right? You know, we're just having so much fun together. And we're just laughing at the way it all works. And that, because you've got enough numbers, words, things on number plates and that to actually create language, okay? And so they do it really well. And it's loads of fun because the angelic and light realms are actually moving someone up in front of you or whatever. I've had the most amazing messages come through, and we all have, okay? But the truth is that this time is coming to an end because we're coming into true guidance, okay? And true guidance is what? There is no guidance. Okay, this is the thing. True guidance is that there is no guidance. Okay, and the reason for that is because you are the master and you are the creator itself. So you already know what you're projecting. So the law of acquisition has been completely about the shift. Remember, the turning around, coming from duality into the singularity, okay, into the one. And when you're a part of the one, you're actually not split in two. You're not having to look for that twin part of yourself. You're not having to look for answers to your solutions. You're not doing that. You're not in a place of less than, okay, or incomplete. And this is where we've introduced you through the law of acquisition. I am complete and need nothing. Well, if I am complete and need nothing, how can that be? Well, it's in the alignment. That's what we've been teaching, isn't it? Well, I'm from this perspective, I'm incomplete. If I'm back to front and upside down and still working in duality of good versus bad, right versus wrong in the penal system, and that keeps coming up in my reflection, therefore I need more discussion, I need more communication, I need more learning, okay? Obviously my position isn't fully into completion, okay? But what we're teaching here is in 5D, not 3D. In 5D, the language that is going on, the new language, the new way of recognizing those that have come through this portal, through this doorway, through opening up the heart chakra. And once they truly take on full self-mastery, the language is different. The language in the isness is different. The isness is I am. Project. I am that, comma, I am. That means I become the next experience, and the next experience, who is projecting, I am. Ah, isn't that glorious? Wow, doesn't that take a load off? Oh my God, like I've spent, 30, 40, 50, 50 years, honestly, am I saying that number? Okay, I just went into a meltdown over that. I tell you, I had no problem at 40, but hitting 50 is like just wrong. All right. So we get to 50, okay, and it's taken me this long. So I used to look for signs and wonders, okay, look for angel communications, okay, look for communications to keep me on track. Where am I meant to be? Okay, what are we doing next? Come on, what are we doing now? Let's go out on the adventure. What are we doing today? I like that. It becomes fun, but it's not as complete as becoming a decreer of where and what you're going to do next. Because you see, when you're floating, you can become ungrounded, okay? So you're not quite accomplishing your destiny and what you're meant to be doing. So wanting to ground the energies and become, okay, able to project deliberately. When you take control and you're actually deliberately projecting onto your quantum field, you are the master. And this is what Saint Germain said to me. So Saint Germain has been one of my teachers. So Jesus the Christ, okay, began in my early years talking about the purity, but at that time I was still on my knees in duality. And as much as I love this master, I didn't have the full understanding of who I actually was, you know. And then I was opened up as I came out of the church, and it was like, you have to let that go. You have to come into rest, because there's nothing about church that is restful, okay? It is running an organization that you have to turn up to all of their meetings, etc. It's hard work as a schedule, okay? And you've got to prove yourself to be there, okay? And not only that, you have to die on the pew, okay? Not a great place to die, okay? All right, I'm being slightly facetious, all right? I did come from that neck of the woods, okay? And I had to work out what it is that was true. And so my soul brought me out of the church and said, you have to come into rest. Well, I was in rest for 3 years. Okay, so I had to actually learn how to come into my being without the mental construct of my mind driving me. Okay, so when you have disciplined and detoxed your mental body, then you've got a better chance of understanding and hearing that stillness within you. Okay, so that you can actually bring that through. Otherwise, we're way too busy trying to decipher things. Then we can't do it because we get stressed about it. So then we go to an outside creator. Can you come and tell me about me? Okay, that's what we do, isn't it? So that time is finishing, okay? You can't have another creator come and tell you about you, because you're the one that's actually creating your life, okay? So we want you to become trusting that you're it. You're the one that's actually building your life. You know the direction that you're going. And if you don't, make a decision. It's that easy, okay? Look at what brings you joy. Come back to what brings you joy. What do you get excited about? What is that feeling inside yourself that you're excited about? Okay. All right. What have we got written up here? Yeah. Oh, don't talk about 60, Lisa. No. Oh my God, no. Okay. All right. So guidance is changing. Guidance is actually dissolving. I want to talk about the realities of guidance. So people who are still in guidance, I had this one conversation with this lady, and my guidance was starting to dissolve because I no longer needed it as I was coming into projection, into my my leap and my position. And so I was meeting all of these people who are still to come through. They're coming through their heart opening through the portal, still using the old ways, you know, of feathers coming and crystals and things like that. Well, I am a crystal now, okay? I'm a diamond, okay? And you can actually become whatever energetic representation of a crystal that you want. You just become it. Why? Energy goes where you intend it to flow. I become that beautiful piece of rock, whatever it is. And excuse me, I do believe in crystals. I love them. Are you kidding me? I've been through that. I've used all of these modalities to heal myself. I've had a crystal healing from my son, which was just amazing, as he did it spontaneously when he was a young one. Okay, so these things happen, yes, but for now we are coming into consciously creating, conscious creating. 5D is me as a master with an upgraded light body, okay, my 13 strands of DNA fully open, projecting deliberately. I'm not waiting, I'm projecting and doing. So this is a time of isness, it's of being, it's doing. This is where your divine masculine comes in and goes, always raise your situation to the greater, and the greater you, the board of directors, the doing part, the one that has the ability to not only create what you're wanting to do, but the doing power to enforce it. Okay. And then the divine inner child, the third part of your being, your isness, will actually bring it into your experience. And so you actually learn, excuse me, throughout this time to become stronger than ever in your trust, in your ability to throw it back, in your ability to let go of the old way of doing things, because it simply will not work for you anymore. And so that's what I was going to say earlier. Over and over, I've heard spiritual ones saying, you know, I keep getting these beautiful messages. You know, I get the message, it comes together, it pixelates, and then it falls apart. Okay, I made an agreement, we were going to do this, and it fell apart. And that is the difference with your law of acquisition. Okay, and this is why we went through. Remember, we spent all of that time understanding the indicators of plan B. Remember that? We went through the plan B indicators. Things come together, they pixelate, looks really good, feels really good. Oh, I'm so excited and thrilled about this. And then it falls apart. And that is because part of me has 1 foot in this camp and 1 foot in this camp. Okay? So you're a creator, but you're creating perhaps miscreations, okay, out of the old sense of you, the little pointy you that used to do things out of force, and so has a culmination, like an accumulation of creations that's not coming through 100%, okay, because the little will me, the little pointy me takes over. And so it turns into a bit of a disaster. And we go, oh, how do I get rid of this? Well, you have to empty out, okay? And so that's why I work with our people that goes through the school for at least 30, 60, 90 days, okay, in tweaking while we're in the shift, while we're in the leap. So you make a massive leap understanding that this is it. But what happens is that the habits and false teachings or old teachings that no longer apply, we keep doing as a creator, okay? You cannot believe in duality and have sovereignty at the same time. That is worth writing down. Okay, you cannot believe in separation from another or something, judgments and opinions about something, okay? Wrapping, remember we've talked about creation wrapping. Wow, what are we creation wrapping? What are we wrapping our creations with? Remember we talked about time out into the future. I can't have what I want until this, and this lines up. You're directly interrupting your own creation flow with that. Okay, so we've already gone through this. This you can actually access in our replays. So yeah, I'm currently living all that I am a vibrational match to. This is lovely. Thank you, Nancy, for that reminder. It's the very first point, okay, of the law of acquisition school. And this section of it, I am currently living all that I am a vibrational match to. That means that I have to take and tweak what I've been doing, because what's showing up is absolutely coming from myself as a creator. Okay, remember I was talking about things from tanties? When I chuck a tantrum, it's like, come on, where's my stuff? Why is this happening to me? Well, I am back to front and upside down when I'm in that position. Okay, I am still in duality. I am projecting duality, and I am not one with my board of directors. If I looked at my 3 levels of reflection that I teach, okay, how do I do this to others? So how do I do this same thing to other people, okay, or in the world? How do I have this particular thing going on and I'm doing it to others? How do I do this to myself? And the last one is, of course, how am I doing this to my soul? How am I doing this to my divine feminine? Okay, so if it keeps falling apart here, okay, what is it that's falling apart? Is it betrayal? Okay, is it trust issues? What is it? What's coming up as the reflection? And you can absolutely come back into alignment and know that you're probably doing that to your board of directors, your triune being. No, I don't trust you. Okay. And yet when you meet your board of directors, it's like, oh my God, how can you not trust them? And that's my question every single time, isn't it, for those who have gone through it? Do you trust? And they go, yes, yes, yes. And when you get that, you will never doubt yourself again, because you'll never doubt the life that is flowing through you and its amazing intelligence and ability. Isn't that cool? Is it cool? How are you feeling? Am I giving you a hard time? Self-governance is the pits, isn't it? Self-governance, soul governance is so much more beautiful. It's where you learn to trust yourself. In fact, you don't have to trust your little pointy you just hand it over to the greater you and off we go. We come into alignment. Let's do it today. We do this every session. Let's fill up with the diamond energy so you get a taste of what it is. Okay? It's very easy for me to use words. Again, if we don't fill you up with the diamonds, you've got nothing experiential to relationally apply. So I want you just to feel the energy of the diamond coming in through the top of your head. Okay, because the first thing that we do here is settle your brain chemistry. Why? Because your body is a chemical body. So just filling up, filling up, filling up. And we do this over and over and over until we can get your egoic mind, your mental body, into understanding that alignment is first and foremost. And that's why we take you to meditation. Well, I don't. I take you to alignment, which you can have in a holy instant through a couple of means that I teach you. And then we can get on with the day. You can actually get aligned in a holy instant. Isn't that beautiful? Here it comes, just building up, building up. Feel it going through your brain. Now, remember, the diamond energy is your higher self. It knows you intimately. This is the rainbow energy. This is the new 5D energy. This is what your light body is being upgraded to in 5D. We're not taking the old clunky system through, okay? That'd be like me still using a Windows 7 when we're actually up to Windows 10 or wherever we're up to. Can't happen. Time for an upgrade. So just feeling the relaxation come across you. Isn't that delicious? Filling up, filling up, filling up. For those that can, sensing your divine inner goddess, okay? She is everything that you've been reaching for. Yes, the gentlemen here all have her presence. That's what you've been looking for, by the way. You've been looking for her inside of you, okay? The perfect soulmate. has actually been your divine feminine, Mother God, the womb of creation. You have been seeking and seeking, and here she is, beautiful, inside you, your triune being. And of course, then we've been looking for the divine masculine, okay? Women looking for the divine masculine, men needing the divine masculine, looking for the divine masculine. Where's my doing force? Why can't I achieve? Okay, I know that I should be able to create beyond creation streaming, beyond the system forcing me to do these things. I should be able to just create. Should come with grace and ease and ability to bring that in. But the little pointy ass has been taught to perform actions, not to flow in creativity, not to flow in expansion, not to become a vibrational match to the next and the next and the next in that sense. It's been very performance oriented. So the divine masculine is Father God. Once you go in and get to know, there is greater and greater love for you. Okay, and this is what we're expanding in right now. And the divine inner child, okay, the divine inner child is the experiencer within you that brings joy into everything that you're doing. If you're not in joy, you're not into the experiencer. You may still have your wounded child in action, not yet healed. Okay, come along, do our school, and we heal all of that. We remove your pain bodies. Okay, we heal your wounded child. We sign off soul contracts that are connected to 3D. Okay, the weight and the disconnection that you've been feeling can absolutely be healed as we cross through that chasm or over that chasm into the leap, into this shift that's happening into 5D. Isn't that amazing? So, it's been an incredible journey into feeling this oneness so that we can come and project what it is that we want at 0 point quantum. So we're all talking about it, all talking about 0 point quantum, okay? And that is inside you. The quantum field is inside you, ever projecting. So just receiving, just aligning right now. Okay, and I want you to feel in this alignment now. Do you need to go to somebody else for counsel? Or are you okay? I can promise you right now that when you're in alignment with the greater you, you are okay. Okay, there's nothing to change or fix about you. There are no issues. The issues just dissolve away as you come into love. And this is unconditional love. There's no issues of duality in unconditional love. Can you feel the difference now? Now the greater you is activated. You have to activate, and I want you to feel the diamond energy within your heart chakra now, moving it to the heart. Okay, this is time of the opening of the heart. And a person who's living in duality or crossing over has a heart chakra that opens and closes and opens and closes, because that's how you protect yourself. Okay, you come in and do ceremony perhaps once a week from a shamanic perspective, or a ceremony. Go to church, open your heart. Yes, I feel love. I am love. I'm in love. And then we leave and we close our space down again and don't go back for another week. Well, this is the time we're coming into, is the sacred. We're coming into a full-time status. I am my total address. I am with a full and open heart chakra. Completely different way to live. And I'm still learning. I've just come through this door in the last 5 years. Okay, so I'm just on the practice run as well. What it becomes, what's coming next, is going to be extraordinary, because your soul is going to be, okay, being much more a part of your day-to-day isness, because you're allowing more of the greater you to flow through. Isn't that cool? All right. You go, well, what's this got to do with the law of acquisition? Everything. Okay, everything. The law of acquisition is how things come to you. If you don't believe in your relationship with your triune being, okay, just because you haven't heard of it before, not a problem. But the trust that builds up, and the more and the more and the more that you're actually working with it, is greater and building in you, and you become more confident, and you decree into your quantum field direct, and sort of like, no, I don't need somebody to tell me. I don't need another creator. That's why we say, you know, what do you think? No, we don't say that anymore. What do you think? Okay, because they're going to tell you. You don't need somebody to tell you what you think. You're the creator of your own world. You create it. Isn't that cool? All right. So guidance is changing. Let's see if I've forgotten any of this. I better keep an eye on the time. Guidance is changing in that it's becoming null and void. Okay, you don't actually need it. But this is where many people around you, I want you to love them, because they are falling apart. They're feeling the two worlds falling apart. Duality is falling apart for them. They're in a place of disappointment, place of instability. They've lost everything that they trusted. It never worked out for them. And they're at this place of vulnerability, okay? And it's understandable that as they're seeking the old ways of gaining a foothold somewhere in this shifting sand time, okay, that they're going to have to grasp onto the inside of themselves. They're going to have to come into their soul sovereign connection. So it's a complete change of platform. It's a change of platform inside, okay? So outside is not going to be sufficient. It is not going to bring solution. It's going to be that alignment directing. Okay, so guidance, you will still have guidance, but it's going to come through quantum principles being shown to you and the turning up of what you are manifesting. See, so you're not going to get the things along the way necessarily. You're going, I feel to go north. And so you take your body north. And then you show up, okay, because you're in the experience, you're in the isness of manifestation continually. Isn't that cool? So you won't be stopping off to go, I better do a card reading to see whether I go right or left, okay? You're just going to actually turn up and go, I'm going there. And there are no mistakes. This is the beautiful part about it. There's no longer mistakes, okay? You're just out for an adventure and explore. You don't make mistakes so much anymore. You become really certain. Remember we were talking about the toilet roll and how everything's tagged in? Just show up for it, you know? Be out and about. If you're a couch potato, you're never going to get it, okay? If you're sitting in inertia, it's not going to come. Okay, you've already been told what you're meant to be doing. Your own soul, there's no point in arguing with your soul because that's you. Okay, you've already agreed to what you're going to be doing. All right, this is the beauty. Just get on with it. So you don't need guidance. You just need your intuition. Ooh, yeah. Feel like a cup of coffee. Let's go and have a cup of coffee. Where am I going for a cup of coffee? Oh, it just comes to mind. Vibrational absolute. I know it. Get that knowing, then make the move. It just becomes so much more simple. Okay, does anyone want to ask me a question? Let's take a couple of minutes on questions. I'm just going to mute myself. Anybody want to speak to me?
I'll ask you, Ruth. I mean, I love this, and there's one of my mentors is really moving a lot in this direction of, you know, that kind of your intuition, that you're your guidance and that higher self. And I guess it's because I'm still just so much a part of the duality. But I do various things that I hope are helping me kind of come into that oneness, that, you know, and really get to that place of higher guidance. And I'm like impatient. Like I want, I'm like staying stuck in duality or something. It's like, wait, what is my higher guidance when it comes to this? Like your coffee analogy. Like, okay, I just know. Like, I don't know. I can't get there. I don't know what my question is, but it's a journey. I mean, at what point do you kind of get there? I don't know.
Okay, so everyone knows what I'm going to say. Come through to my school, Kim. Okay, because that's where we take you through every step of meeting, of dissolving that out, introducing this, of setting up your light body. Okay, we take you through everything that you need to know. And when you come through it, so talk to anyone that's already done it, like Tony, Michelle, anybody else. Adasia is here as well. She's gone through it. It's amazing. And excuse me, and it's the way I crossed over. So everything that I'm training for you is my initiation journey into what I'm talking about. Okay, so I am a good person to go through my school. So I've got a quantum living with 4-body wellness school. It's 24 hours of light work training and teaching on how to be this. And I take you and I keep aligning you and lining you and lining you and lining you until you stand in this. Also the book. Thanks, Deja, she's there writing up messages. Excuse me. This book is profound, okay? Everything that's in it has come from my soul, okay? And it turned my life around. I went from needing healing into, self-governance, and I've been through everything with it to bring you the key points, the most powerful points, which are logos statements, quantum principles, and they can be applied to anything. It's almost like a bit of a formula. Do this, this, and this, okay? And you can actually become self-governing from knowing them. Okay, so I've been teaching this for many weeks, and just encourage you to keep coming to the trainings. This law of acquisition school is just the third part of the school, and here you are right at the tail end. It's like the last flick. Okay, but I'm wanting to say to you, come through the school. It's amazing. Okay, it will actually teach you everything and make that change, that shift happen within you. So yes, you are wanting to trust your higher self. But it's very interesting when, we're all built differently. So some of us are so logic based. It's logic, it should be like this. But I'm much more relational based. So it's relationship. So I introduce you to the relationship side of you with your sovereign soul, because I want to know who's pulling my strings. I'm actually quite a logical person. So don't tell me this. I want to know for myself. Okay. I'll get it for myself. Thank you very much. And that's why I've done this, to find out, okay, what if I do this, this, and this, or I'm living experience and then this thing happened to me. And that's what I'm sharing, that it actually works, So your biggest answer to your question, Kim, is relationship. Your relationship with your board of directors, meeting them. You'll never have a question afterwards. Okay, there's just nothing to question. Okay, any other comments, questions? Love questions.
Hi, Ruth. It's Adasia.
Adasia, lovely.
Hi, darling. I was just going to say, and just, I guess, a little chat about the cards, because I've used tarot, and they've been my humble companion for quite some time. What I have found with using the cards is that they actually teach me to trust my intuition, that upon using them, I realized that I already knew that.
Yes, see?
Yeah. So I just wanted to put that in there, because I think that they can be useful in that regard. If you already check in with yourself and then use them to reaffirm what you already know.
Okay. Thank you for that comment. And this is where a lot of people are at right now. But I would actually suggest that cleaning up the vibration even more purely is to come totally into soul sovereign connection. Okay. Tarot is a very strong dualistic tool of right versus wrong, good versus bad, where we're going, and the Fool can actually keep you on another 12-month cycle of experience. Okay. So if the, you know, we've got so many superstitions tied to tarot that it cannot, tarot actually, my tarot does amazing tarot reading. She doesn't do it very often, very rare, because she actually draws from her soul as well. Okay, but it has got no duality in it, and that's her intention. If you have something that is drawing a message to say that you're going to be walking around for another year or 12 months trying to sort out this part, that means that you still believe in learning. Now, learning is a skiism. Okay, learning is a skiism. If you still believe, now this is a big skiism, just like guidance. If you still believe that you've got something to change or fix about you, and that you must learn something, which is why we pull the deck to do a reading. What aren't I quite getting? Okay, so that means that you're out of alignment and you're in duality going, what haven't I gotten? So we're praying, we're outside of ourselves, we're not in alignment when we ask that question. When I come into alignment from a 5D perspective, I'm in the isness of being at one with my triune being. Okay, and there is no question in that place. In fact, there's nothing to change or fix about me. I'll just make a decision on what I'm doing next, and I'll follow my passion. Okay, it just comes to me because my board of directors is already feeding it to me. I'm just getting it. Okay, oh, that's what I'm doing next. So simple, and you trust that. Okay. I'll give you one story now. This is in the book. Oh, powerful story, because it was a powerful part of my leap. That I had a friend of mine who you possibly know. Anyway, oh, glorious soul. I love her so dearly. Had come to visit with a tarot deck, okay, of cards that were round, okay. And she said these words are precious words for me to learn this lesson. You must read it in the book. Powerful chapter, okay. And she said that the paternal had been taken out of these cards. So as an oracle deck, a round deck, she said it's only the feminine, okay? It's only the maternal, okay? Because the paternal has hurt us and we're taking the paternal out. And so this deck had no paternal masculine in it. Well, I had just come through into this amazing state of isness with my board of directors. And I was like, whoa. So I knew where I was, okay? And she goes, here, I'll do this reading. Do you know, if I had believed that card deck, I would have been in another learning cycle for 12 months. Okay, so I would have been in this, separated from source for 12 months. That's how dangerous it is. So I'm not saying dangerous as in, okay, 4D reality, okay, is keeping us in separation at the highest levels, because I believe in duality. So if my guidance is saying that I am not this, and I'm actually seeking guidance out of myself, it is still an incorrect position to soul governance. I'm glad for that question, because this is going to cause a lot of disturbance in the spiritual force. Okay. It already has done that. Did you know, but I wanted to say this, when you are in soul sovereign diamond light body connection, you are ignited. Did you know that those duality forces in 4D, 3D and 4D cannot read your signature? Your energetic signature cannot be read. It can't be manipulated. It can't be attacked, because I am in oneness. And the soul fire within me keeps purifying and keeps me protected, because I'm only going to project wholeness. So this is the difference. There's so much behind soul sovereignty, that you are projecting purity, not imperfection that you've got to overcome. You are projecting pure consciousness from your live stream, your life force that's keeping you upright on your feet. This is the difference. It is such a powerful difference. Thanks, Tony. Can you, I know you've been sitting there for a while. Thank you.
I just wanted to back you up on that, Ruth, because before I did the 4 body wellness school of quantum lore, I loved my cards. I'm not a tarot reader, but they were just kind of more of I just love symbolism. So I had one with with animals and angels, and just
Yeah.
I just the essence of really paying attention to my surroundings. And one of the decks I have that I love very much is from another Canadian, Colette Baron-Marie, who does Wisdom of the Oracle. And that deck that I seem to be drawn to all the time. And the only reason why I bring this up is because ever since I've done the school with you, I always have a conversation every Friday, every Sunday. I usually do a fireside chat with my group, my private group. And we just do just a kind of I usually have a conversation about, whatever that's whatever is on my mind. And I get a giggle because at the end of this little 5-10 minute conversation, I usually like to pull a card for the week for the energy, like, where we're going into and where our heart's at and our mindset and all of that. And every single time since I've done your school, the card has been exactly what I just talked about every time. So it's exactly what you said. You already know your compass. You already know your heart. You already know, because it's not telling me a duality story. It's just affirming what I've already just discussed, what was pulling my heart to have a little discussion. So I just giggle every time it happens. So
I've seen you do it, and it is so spot on that this is so, but not too many people understand what is going on, which is where I come in. Okay. Right. We have to know why these things are so, and it is that you're the creator. You've already tuned into what's going on. You teach it so superbly, Tony. It's just lovely. And yeah, these things support that or whatever. And people still attracted and love it because they're still looking for support. Okay. But you need to understand that guidance, as in this, is coming to an end. Okay. Your reliance on it is coming to an end as you're taking up your position in self-mastery. And that's what my job is. Diamond Matrix Masters, I'll get out of the way. Woo-hoo. Okay. Is about you becoming a master in the diamond energy. Okay. And so you do not need external supports as a creator, because you are the creator. Okay. You're just the step down version into the little pointy you. Oh, it's such an amazing thing, but it's got a lot of people confused. And that's why I've written this book, because it tweaks your reality. Have a read. Yeah. Have a read. Okay. You can be asking a question on any one of these things, and just open the book up, and your board of directors will take you to the answer and solution. Thanks, Nancy. One day I'm going to actually have the nous to ask everyone, bring your book, and we're going to do like a book pick. Okay. It's just so precious. It's like, I still recommend it. I just cannot not recommend it, because this is such a vital work to understanding where we're coming through. Thanks, Dr. Mike. So it's just so vital to understanding how we're crossing over, what the new looks like in comparison to the old. The language that we've been guided with are no longer performing. Okay, we can't use those old tricks of the trade. Okay, they are coming to an end, and it's so frustrating. Okay, it's so frustrating to be actually utilizing those old ways. Okay, and people go, I'm too disappointed, and they're turning their face away. Okay, and that is the saddest thing for me, to see a light worker go, I'm just struggling too much, and I haven't got the interest, and I now don't have the ability. I've actually gone into poverty. I can't afford this anymore. I used to be up there, and I'm just not anymore. And it's only because they don't have the knowledge. And this is why, look, I've got all of these people up in front of me. I go, please share this information out in the real world, in the real community that you are living in, because people just don't know the difference. Okay. That's why I'm sharing this, so that you know the difference and you can become a powerful communicator of sharing this. You know what? It's different to the way it used to be. Okay, it's different. It's okay. You're okay. We're just shifting and things are happening. It's different to the way it used to be. Thank you, Deja, my little possum. She's gorgeous. Oh my God, she's gorgeous. Okay, keep an eye out for her. You better get a masterclass on this platform, Adasia, because honestly, you've got so much to say, so much to share. Even if you just come in and sing, I will be mesmerized. Okay, it'd be lovely. She's the lady that I'm hoping is going to be doing my audio. No pressure. Who needs an audio book? Come on, put your hands up. Do we need this in audio? Do I get asked about it every jolly day? Yes, because there's so many that don't. But Deja told me not to pressure her, so there's no pressure here, okay? Just truth. All right. Okay. Any other thoughts or questions? Wayne, Dwayne, would you share?
Two thoughts. First one is to answer your question. What keeps you from doing an audio book?
Adasia and her schedule.
Is it that simple?
Okay, so I picked the voice that I'm in love with. Okay, I'm going, oh my God, you should hear her. She's just theatric. She has this, and she can laugh like I can laugh. You know, so those parts of the book that I like that she brings that interpretation. So
Why not?
I do.
Apologies, everybody. Yeah, I've just been going through some pretty big solar return. Oh, yeah,
It's been massive.
It's been heavy for me, so I'm coming out of that now. It is coming soon.
She sent me this piece as a taster, and oh my God, I just like, whew, it's so beautiful. All right, so yes, that was the answer to that question. Did you enjoy today, Dwayne? This is good information.
I came in late because of other commitments. So I have the question, by 5D, you mean 5 days?
Did you say 5 Ds?
Well, that's what I thought I heard you say, but you mean
that just warmed the cockles of my heart. I don't think I've ever been asked that question. No,
that's
not 5 Ds.
My
Yeah.
mind received that.
So 5D, when it's written 5D, is fifth dimension. Fifth dimension.
Like D.
Yeah. So fifth dimensional energies is where we came from, light and above. It's not just 5D, but I avoid using or trying to participate in 3D because we're actually coming up into the new earth, which is the golden earth. It's the new energies of the earth. So there's no point in using these old energies anymore. They don't work. Okay. Mother Gaia is not a part of that anymore. She's gone beyond. Okay. So we've had this upliftment in the last, I mean, historically, we've come to the end of the Mayan cycles and all the different cycles that there are. Massive change. We're now in the Aquarius age. It's time to do things differently, and yet we're not fully understanding how different it is. Like, you want to project onto your quantum field the new earth. No historical pain. Don't bring me pain. Okay. We've lived that. Okay. For those that want to continue on in historical pain, well, you've got another 26,000 year cycle happening now. Okay. Now I'm not doing it. All right. I'm popping into this. All right. No, that was awful. We don't want to do that again. Okay. We're very experienced. We've just had 26,000 years of duality. Not doing that again. Well, in and out of duality, put it that way, around 15,000 years of duality, of oppression against one another, of all of this control, of the patriarchal system, okay, of trying to balance energies and that. No, we're coming into soul sovereignty now, okay? We're coming up into soul sovereignty. Let's just take that on board. It's so much easier. Go, Nancy.
I was just clapping.
That's all right. What were you clapping about?
I'm clapping about the new world and all this wonderful new energy and how awesome it feels just to be able to be free from, you know, like you said, at 25,000 years, like that stuff's gone, right? We're moving on. And so now we got this plan, and thanks to you, you know, a lot more people are going to be understanding it, and I'm getting it better, and I'm feeling awesome about that.
Good girl. I love it when Nancy gets it. She goes, and you see this great big look across. Actually, you all do it, okay? I just love being on this side of the screen. It's fantastic. You go, like that, yeah. I love it. But yeah, so yeah, let's not keep doing the old stories, the duality, the pain, and all that. And then I was this and I was that. It's done for, okay? Well, yeah, we were that. Not a problem. Okay, I am, however, becoming this. I don't care about that. I don't care what I was in past lives. I don't care about any of that. Okay, I've got no interest in it anymore. I want to create. I'm a creator. I'm going to create a new earth. We're going to bring in those new education systems. We're going to bring in the immune system. We are this. We are this new, better way of doing it. So yeah, we're living in a genius time. We don't have time to recreate goodies from the past. We actually only want to take in what it is that we want to experience from a 5D perspective, which is in unconditional love. Alignment is unconditional love, does not have separation within it. And so this is why this tweaking of removing ourselves from unconditional love. Of coming back into unconditional love, sorry. All right, any other questions? Because it's been a pertinent thing. So who's wiggling their toes? My toes are wiggling.
It's me. It's Yaz.
Of course they're wiggling, okay? Your little people are just full on. I love you, Yaz. Yasmin is so connected with her board of directors, and she lives beautifully from her divine inner child. And all of you actually work really well. Some people you can see work well with their board of directors. They've got a very balanced presentation of themselves. Like I use Richard Branson as a good one. He's very, like, he's full on masculine doing, but he's got the feminine side of it that is highly attractive, and yet he's running like many businesses. His doing power is incredible, but his exploration of the earth and the divine inner child is just superb. He's always up to mischief, quite willing to let something go as he ventures on to the next one. He's just totally in the stream of his board of directors. He does that quite well. And you might know people who are like that. And then you'll meet people that have got parts of themselves not so connected. And that's why we do the initiation process into meeting your soul sovereign self. Because some people are quite unbalanced. They just dance around in the divine inner child, but may not have the wisdom and strategy coming through of the divine feminine, nor the doing power of the divine masculine. So this is where our counsel is completely different when you're understanding quantum law in comparison to just ordinary counsel of those who haven't got a clue. And you can spend many years with those people that don't have a clue, and they'll still have no clue at the end of it because they don't understand soul sovereignty. Okay. Any other thoughts? I don't even have the time on this, so I'm not even quite sure how we're going on time.
Ruthie, you had mentioned something about not worrying about, you know, where you all came from, and I just written in the chat that I've got no energy to spend on the why anymore, because the why is a prison. And Elizabeth asked me to comment on that. And what I mean is that if you really think about human nature, this little pointy self always is so curious, but we're not curious as in childlike when we were innocent. We're now curious, trying to ask this question, why? And then it is such a negative energy, a pull down energy. I would call it an anchor, a chaining, a prison when you're in this adult self. And by being obsessed with wondering, why did my mom do this? Why did my dad do this? What are the all this generational, I couldn't give a rip anymore. It means nothing. it was just an experience. It's done. It's over. I have no connection to it. I've cut it. It's done. I'm moving on. I'm a soul sovereign being. I'm in my alignment. If I have a question, it's like, oh, thinking pointy self again, you're on board. Right? It's like, so I catch myself now, and I got to be truly honest with you. I had this discussion with Kasha. I wish she was here, because all of you who have been on Kasha, who've been with Kasha for a while on her journey, she was obsessed with the why. Is just.
Thanks, darling. I wasn't sure where that was going. So
And it was the most beautiful thing to see her, how she has stepped into that now, because she really has to go of it. And that's probably a really good example, because I know that a lot of you have known her. So this is actually how it happened. She has truly stepped into releasing, because she's never understood the word let go. It didn't make any sense to her, but she has completely now come into alignment to understand that all of that expression of the why is what was actually holding her back
that is true.
Stepping into her divine, infinite, beautiful, true self. And
oh my God, Tony. I mean, you just make me, you just give me bliss bombs, because Tony's come through the school and listened to her. She's teaching it right perspective. You know, I'm always impressed that someone's come through and can actually see it, teach it, expand on it from this perspective without compromise. And you do that. And yes, Kasha is actually a beautiful example. My God, she just glows, this woman. She just glows. The transformation in her over the last 3 months is just incredible. And you have to take on a transformation, don't you? You have to be willing to shift and to move forward. But the beautiful part about this message is that we're not asking a person to get rid of themselves. We're saying you are far better in alignment. You know, I went through all these years of thinking that I was going to come into amnesia and I wasn't going to be present anymore. It was like, oh, the old Ruthie's gone. And it wasn't that. It was just emptying out those false constructs so I could come into alignment. You know, I'm still here, and that's great. And this is where we're becoming better versions of ourselves.
Well, and what it is, and that's a excellent, Ruthie, because, and I thank you for what you said. I mean, I'm still obviously on a very big, steep learning curve, of course, but it just, everything just made so much sense. It's exactly what you said when you recognized Nancy, when she went, oh, right? Like this, there's just this whole light bulb moment. And that's exactly what it feels like. It's just like all of this stuff just comes into instant alignment, in a holy instant be whole. And it just, that's that moment. And for me, it's interesting because I remember hearing a conversation when we talk about being in the now. How can you be in the now if you're obsessed of what happened before?
That's right.
You are no longer in the now. You've sent
right.
your energy off somewhere that you're not even connected to anymore, but you think you are because of the game. The game. So it's not necessary. And I heard this from somebody who was, for lack of a better word, having a channeling. This being came through, and this person had asked this being a couple of questions, and the being answered the most recent one. So they told one question and then another question, but he only heard the last question. And then he says, I have to just ask, I think I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure you asked me another question, but I can't remember it. And it's not because I don't have a brain or whatever. I forget what the words he said, but it says, they're so in the now, they don't remember anything from 2 minutes prior.
Yeah.
Like that's how in the now they are. It's just gone.
I love it.
Gone. So
I used to think I had the poorest memory, and then I found out in actual fact I was just coming into the now and the now and the now, and it's really not relevant. People go, you've got a terrible memory, Ruthie. And it's like, no, it never was. Well, I never had a good memory because I was always in sales and marketing. So you're just on to the next project. So you don't need it. Once it's done, it's done. We're here doing this, you know. So I was very present. But wow, when you're practicing soul sovereignty, you are definitely into the next moment. That was lovely sharing. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn off the recording right now. So if anyone wants to just speak